Your Honor, I'm here because Pastor Walker of a mega church, I believe he got me pregnant.
Pastor got you pregnant. Okay. Miss Garcia, how did you all meet?
So I started attending the church looking to change the lifestyle that I was living. And he was super nice to me. We started speaking. He would ask me to come into his office and help him with, some church work, paperwork. And then he invited me multiple times after that, kind of in private. No one knew about it. And so the one time that I went to his house, he started, touching my hand. And then I thought at the time that he was just, being very caring and friendly. But obviously it wasn't that way. So at the time, I just thought he was being super friendly with me, and I didn't think coming from him he would be making a move like that on me. And then, we hooked up, and this is why I'm here.
All right. Pastor Walker, give me your side of the story. How did you meet with Miss Garcia, and what was the nature of your relationship?
Well, this is just preposterous. I'm a upstanding member of our community. I remember it vividly. She came into the church, and she came up to the altar and with a group of people, and she wanted to be saved, and I did the prayer for her, and she did it, and we saved her, and she kept coming back every Sunday, and then she wanted to come Mondays and Tuesdays. She came to me saying that she wanted to change her life. I gave her some tasks around the church to help me out. We spent some time together working and getting closer, and I got to know her more personally, and I let her in on some of who I am outside of the church. We became good friends. Miss Garcia, from my perspective, wanted to have a strong relationship with the spiritual leader. I didn't know that she had nefarious intentions.
About nefarious intentions, expound on that.
So as we got closer, I got to know more about her background and history and her mind. And that's when I started noticing some inconsistencies in her behavior. You see, she said she wanted to be an upstanding, clean Christian woman, but she kept coming, being very touchy-feely with me. She wanted to give me massages, and I was like, I don't know if this is appropriate because we're alone together. I'm an upstanding member of the community. If I'm going to date somebody, you're going to be my woman, and we're going to get married, and that's how Christians supposed to be. In the process of us getting closer and me noticing her inconsistencies, I tried to pry a little bit. As a pastor would do, I tried to find out more about your life to help heal, get you to the right path, show you the light. But there was always some kind of barrier. She couldn't really get to that place where she could be completely vulnerable with me and tell me exactly what was going on. And that happens all the time. Some people are shameful about their past. Some people used to do drugs. Some people used to be sex workers. Some people used to do things that they're ashamed of. And I don't want to pry too much and drive her away from the church because she was an upstanding community member at this point. I did invite her over for lunch a couple times. She told me she had no money. She had no family. Nobody was there for her. She was all alone and in this new city. And I was like, well, I'm going to do the right Christian thing to do. And I took her out for lunch. And we laughed, and we had coffee and sandwiches. And that's when I started noticing the text messages.
The text messages, were they sexual, or what do you mean by text messages?
Well, she told me she had no one and had no friends in town. And when she went to the bathroom, left her phone while we were at lunch, I noticed a text message pop up, and it said, "Hey, babe, are you free tonight?" That kind of took me back a little bit because at this point, I thought she was making advances toward me. I thought maybe she was going to turn her life around, and maybe we could, we could have a romantic relationship. But as soon as I start seeing a text message like that, and she wouldn't let me get through her barriers of her previous life, I started getting some red flags.
So, Mr. Walker, did you confront her about this?
Absolutely. As soon as she came back, she sat down, and I tried to do it in a humorous way because I didn't want to be too confrontational. I was like, your phone keeps blowing up. Somebody's trying to get a hold of you. It looked like somebody said, hey, babe. Who's calling you, hey, babe? I thought you were out here all by yourself. And she started stuttering, and she's telling me that she just got out of a living situation with somebody, and she needed to return stuff and give stuff back, and it was some property. But hey, babe, are you free tonight? That sounds to me like a hookup text, not a come get your stuff text.
So, Ms. Garcia, Pastor Walker just stated a whole lot. So is this true?
Yes, it's true. At the time, I was moving out of my apartment that I was sharing with my boyfriend, and I had found some stuff that I was going to get back to him, which is why I texted him. But him calling me babe, I can't control what he calls me.
So, Ms. Garcia, what was the relationship? What was the nature of the relationship after this text took place?
Well, at first, I didn't really I thought it bothered him, and then he got very unsettled about the situation. It was just like a moment in time where I wasn't ready to, fully tell him everything that I was going through. And then I got pregnant, and that's when things started to change.
So your relationship was pretty good until after the text and then the pregnancy happened. Is that what you're stating?
Yes.
So what about the pregnancy made the relationship bumpy?
I think he was unsettled. He kind of thought that I was still talking to my boyfriend at the time, which I wasn't. One day we went out to eat. He asked to see my phone, and I told him no, that he should believe me because I was telling the truth. And he got all grumpy and kind of quiet, and then he got up and he stormed off. He left me at the restaurant with the bill. I was 8 months pregnant at the time, and he left me, and I had to do everything on my own.
So he didn't get a chance to look at your phone?
No.
You didn't let him look at the phone, and after
Yeah,
that he
because I wasn't
stormed out,
hiding
pretty
anything.
much. Pastor Walker, I'm going to put this back on you. Is this true, the way she stated this story?
No, it's not exactly accurate. See, what happened was we went to dinner. And now, mind you, let me just backtrack for 1 second. We got intimate, and we decided that we were going to have a relationship. And because we weren't public with our relationship, I wanted to kind of keep it under wraps. I didn't want the community to know that we were dating just yet because it was so fresh and new and fast. And on top of that, we're not married. So it would be frowned upon amongst my flock. And I prayed about it because I felt like I was being tempted. She's touching me, she's rubbing on me, she's saying all these nice things, she's helping me out with my church, and I'm not going to lie to you, sir. I was a weak man, and I fell victim to her wily ways.
So, Ms. Garcia, is there a reason you believe that Pastor Walker is the father of your child?
Yes, I believe he is. The way I found out was 2 women of the church, young, around my age. They came up to me one day and approached me. They saw that, we were hanging out, and they stopped me and told me if I was, and I told them yes, and they revealed to me to keep my distance because he was messing with 2 other women of the church, and he got them pregnant, and he asked them to get an abortion.
2 other women, and they told you that he made them get abortions?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, Pastor Walker, you are a little sexual tyrannosaurus over here, huh? Is this true about the 2 other women?
No, it's not true. I didn't get anyone pregnant. I have a lot of women in my congregation. They have crushes on me. Her baby came out. I didn't make her get any abortion like that. It's not something I believe in as a Christian. What I truly believe is going on here is a lot of hearsay going on in the church, a lot of people talking. And one of the things that I actually found out through that same network is Miss Garcia used to be a stripper, an exotic dancer. She told me she was a dancer. I thought she was just maybe a hip hop dancer or TikTok dancer, maybe even a ballerina. But no, she was an exotic dancer, and that's when I put two and two together. She used to be a stripper, taking money from men, setting them up, and I feel like she was setting me up for money because this is a mega church. I drive nice cars, I live nice, I'm blessed. So when I asked to see her phone at dinner, I wasn't looking to see if she was with her ex. I was looking to see if she was still dealing with clients. Was she trying to be a sex worker? Was she trying to make money? Because she has money. She was saying I left her at dinner broke. She had more money than me. I just think that she's trying to use this situation for her own financial gain. And I truly don't believe this baby is mine because I truly believe she still was hooking up with her ex when we had our sexual intercourse. And I was there through the pregnancy, and during that pregnancy period, that's when I started finding out about her being a dancer, and I started finding out about her old ways, and I started putting two and two together. She's trying to use me.
Ms. Garcia, I'm going to ask you, were there any promises made to you by the pastor?
Yes, he did make promises to me. He promised me that we were going to get married, that we were going to start a family. And then I realized that these things weren't happening. And it was just things that he was telling me. And then I started to, kind of question that. And so one day I tried calling him because he wasn't really like spending time with me like he was before. And when I called him, he was somewhere where I could hear like machines going off. And then one day a friend of mine.
Machines? What type of machines?
It was just like, it sounded like gaming machines, like
the
slots when you
casino?
go to the casino, yeah. And I just thought like he was, maybe at like a restaurant or something, but I thought it was kind of weird. And then one day a friend saw him at a casino 50 miles from town gambling, so.
And your friend is sure that was the pastor?
Yes, she did confirm it was him.
I see. Pastor Walker, have there been any promises made to Ms. Garcia in terms of your life together or the baby or whatever the case may be?
I absolutely made promises to her. I wanted to marry her. I wanted to be the father of this child. I thought we were going to be together. But that's why I stormed off at dinner, because I realized that she was hiding things from me. She was lying to me. She's possibly seeing clients. And when I left, I started to drive off, and I was thinking about all this, and I noticed her bag was in the car. And I was going to put it in the back seat, and it kind of spilled out and in the front seat. And I was trying to put all her stuff back in the bag in the front seat, and there was like a little calendar type journal in there. And I kind of, when I went to swipe it into the bag, I kind of swiped it open, and you could see a date, and it looked like a journal entry, a diary. And I'm a human being. I told you I'm not really great with temptation, so I read it. I know it's a violation of her privacy, and she doesn't know to this day that I read this book, but it was filled with why she couldn't be a consistent person, why she couldn't have the behaviors, because she was haunted by her past of all the things she used to do. And she put in this book that she sought me out. She wanted to make herself the first lady of the church so it could change who she was in the community. She was trying to use me to wash herself clean. All I wanted to do was baptize her and get her clean, but she wanted to use me as like some kind of shield, some kind of camouflage to be a good person.
Ms. Garcia, is this true you have troubles with how you see yourself or perceive yourself?
I do. I wanted to change my lifestyle, which is why I got a job. And he actually called my job. I was working at a dental office. He called to get me fired, saying that I was stealing money from the church, which I wasn't. And he said that if I spoke up and said anything, that he would do it again. And if he does do that, then I can't care for the baby or myself.
Pastor, I gotta ask you, did you have the church call and get her fired from her job?
Well, yes, because she was stealing. She used to come in and count the money for us from the collection plate. And sometimes she would She always had a lot of ones on it for some reason, and she would make a lot of change for us. So when we did change exchange one day, we noticed that we were $250 short. She's the only one that handles the money. This was after our altercation, so I'm thinking maybe she's stealing money because she thinks that I'm not going to take care of her, and she's in this situation now. And she put us all in a weird situation. Now I'm an honest person. I'm a Christian. I have to let the world know that she's a thief. I'm not going to go out there and let her steal from some poor dentist. That's a good friend of the community. He comes to the church as well.
Miss Garcia, what are you prepared to do if Pastor Walker is not the father?
Well, first of all, I would never steal money. I don't do that. But I would continue to take care of my child in the best way that I can. I mean, I left everything for Mr. Walker, thinking that we were going to have a family one day, all those promises that he made me. But if he's not going to keep those promises, then I'm left on my own to figure that out.
I have to put the question back on you, Pastor Walker. What are you prepared to do if you are the father?
The first thing I'm going to do is pray over this whole situation, because God will fix it all. If I am the father, I'll be responsible and I'll take care of this child, but there's no way I could have a relationship with her. Even though I do believe in redemption and people can change and grow, I truly believe she's disguising herself as a harlot. She's disguising herself as a Christian, even though she's still a harlot.
Well, we have the results right here. And I have to say that these results are 99.999% accurate, which means there's no room for doubt. When it comes to the child in question, Pastor Walker, you are the father. Ms. Garcia, what do you think about the result?
I'm not surprised. Everything I said today was the truth.
Pastor Walker, what do you think about the results?
It was surprising. I'm taken back a little bit. It was just such a build up to this moment. Ms. Garcia, I owe you an apology. And I'm sorry I accused you of inappropriate behavior. But I still believe what I believe. The text messages don't lie. I really believe my congregation told me the truth. I'll take care of this baby, but we don't have a chance in hell.
I see. Well, I hope that the two of you can come together and co-parent this baby together, because no matter how you two feel about each other, it's not the baby's fault that the baby is here. All right. And that was a gift from God, no matter what you may think about Ms. Garcia. The court is adjourned.